What are your expectations of your team for this upcoming season based on who you have returning and obviously the great recruiting class that you've got?
I mean, it's probably the big question in college basketball. How does anyone kind of know? We've added 4 more teams to our league too, but I think what we added the most, we got Jeremiah Williams back, our leading scorer here out of Chicago, and Jermichael Davis and Emmanuel Ogbol are our 3 returning players. And they were by far our 3 toughest players last year. And then we went into the portal and tried to get some toughness, more than anything. And then we were blessed with a 5-man freshman recruiting class of really talented, freshmen. So, some days I feel really good. We got some good leadership and we got some, some good practice. And other days we look a little bit on the young side and stuff. But it's challenging, but I like where we are, and I like the ability of these guys to play multiple positions. And Dylan Harper may be the best point guard in the country, and Ace Bailey may be the most versatile, wing player too in the country. So, exciting times at Rutgers.
What does Ace Bailey do best, and what kind of your expectations for him this season based on his rankings coming in?
You know what? He's an awesome kid, first and foremost. Great family, a worker. What he does best is pass the ball. He's an elite 6'10" passer. I mean, really sees the floor and can make plays. But he's an emergency defensive guy, like can really block shots from the weak side. He's a terrific athlete. Multi-position guy. That's probably, I could play him at 1 through 5. I really could. And, he makes guys around him better, which I think a lot of the great ones do.
Dylan Harper, same type of question. What do you expect from him for this season, and what does he do best as well, too?
Dylan loves basketball. He loves it. And I think he was born to play. It's his family and his blood. Lefty, downhill, physical guard who can flat out pass the ball and score. Like, just has a really good knack for when to pass, when to shoot, when to do things. He's fun. He's fun. They're both really fun to watch, and they do some exciting things. But they love to be in the gym, and they bring good energy to me. They're like energy givers, both of them.
How will you handle the travel to the West Coast this year? With the preparation for the time change, how will you deal with that? And what have you foreseen down the road, looking at your schedule, just about preparation to try to win games based on the time change?
I try not to make a big deal about those things because I really don't think it matters. Our guys get on the plane, and they're usually asleep within 10 minutes. So they either sleep for 4 hours or they sleep for 2 hours, so that's kind of, how it goes. So I don't spend a lot of time talking about those, kind of things with our guys. The bottom line is you have to be ready to play in this league when you're on the road. These are the best venues in college basketball. These are the rabid fan bases. They're all tough places to play. So I don't get too caught up in the travel stuff. I mean, you got to win your home games. You got to win your road games.
Yeah. Now, with the expectations with Ace Bailey coming in, obviously Dylan Harper, who you have coming in, plus the newcomers and everybody else, managing those expectations, do you feel extra pressure this year? I mean, how do you deal with that with your team? I mean, you've been in a long time. You've been very successful, but how are you dealing with this year, especially with the recruiting class?
We've always tried to have real high expectations, and we have 63 straight sellouts at Rutgers. I mean, our fans come out. They're unbelievable. They support us. So we have lofty expectations, but these guys have brought a whole different set of eyeballs, to our program. And we have a kid, Lathan Somerville, out of Illinois, too, a freshman, and Dylan Grant, a kid out of Toronto who can really play, too, and Bryce Dortch out of Boston. They brought a lot of eyeballs, and that's exciting to me because when you take a job at Rutgers University and you hadn't had the success prior, we were in different leagues too throughout our history. Now we're in the Big Ten, and now people expect us to be good, and I say bring it on.
That's great. That's great. Tell me, in terms of for you guys to compete for a Big Ten championship, what category statistically or analytics do you think that you guys got to be really good at when you're looking at the end of the year for you guys to say, hey, we're competing at this top level?
You know what? We've been a really good defensive team for a long time. We went out in the portal and we really tried to shore up our ability to shoot the ball. We got a kid, P.J. Hayes, out of San Diego, could really shoot the ball. Zach Martini, one of the best shooters in the Ivy League in our program, and Tyson Acuff, a really good shooter out of Eastern Michigan. So we tried to shore up those areas of our game, and then we also tried to shore up our foul shooting. We haven't been a great foul shooting program, and those are two areas. Like, our defense is going to be good, and like, I'm very confident in that. We got the pieces to be excellent defensively. We got some shot blockers. We got great length. Not right now today. I don't feel great about our defense, but I know we'll get to that point. But the ability to make free throws and make threes is really going to separate us, hopefully, and put us to where we want to go.
Coach, as you mentioned, your team's always been really good defensively. And you stated in the past about it's hard for freshmen to come in and be great on the defensive end. And you're going to have Harper and Bailey on the floor a lot. So how will that deal with you defensively? What have you had to do with them to try to catch them up to speed about how hard it is to play defense at this level?
I mean, you know as well as anyone, high school defense is just completely different than what is demanded at the college level. First, these two guys, are physically big, so our size helps us a great deal. Our length is one of our strengths, that we have. But we've also had to, watch tremendous amounts of film with these guys. Ace is great emergency defender because he's so athletic that he'll block a shot. He can do some things with his athleticism. And Dylan is so physical that, that takes away some of the maybe technical mistakes that, high school kids make. But we got to teach them defense. It's 50% of the game, and it usually decides whether you win or lose.
Yeah. Outside of Bailey and Harper, who's someone on the roster that the fans should know that will surprise everyone outside of those two?
I tell you what, I mean, we got a lot of guys. We have 12 guys, and they all do some unique things. We have a big kid, Emmanuel Ogbo, who's about 7 feet, and he's about 275, and he is athletic. He runs and jumps and blocks shots. He was with us last year, but he was hurt for half the season, so he only played a few games at the end. I think has a chance to be really good. And we have the Player of the Year in the Northeast Conference out of Merrimack, Jordan Deerdak. And Jordan is a physical, to the rim, 6'6", tough as nails, kind of guy that I think people will be excited about. And then P.J. Hayes shoots the ball at a high level. So excited about them. And Tyson Acuff is a guy, he's been injured a little bit in the preseason, but he was the 7th leading scorer in the country out of Eastern Michigan. And, I think he's going to have a really good year for us, too. So we got some pieces around, some talented young guys.
I was going to add about Tyson Acuff. Where's he at with his injury right now, and how quickly will he be able to get on the floor?
He's practicing now, no contact yet. So we got through the, broken bone, and he's in a much better place. Now we got to get him in shape and up to speed as his leg starts feeling better and better. But we expect him back for the season, and he can do a lot of things for us.
Tell me your take on your 24-25 season with the home atmosphere at Rutgers, because of the sellouts, the hype, the expectations, the excitement, the enthusiasm. What do you kind of think of being at home and just the crowd? What's the atmosphere going to be like this year?
I mean, our atmosphere is like one of the best, I really believe. Our student section is creative and into it. We have 1,400 accounts waiting for tickets. We have a waiting list to get into Jersey Mike's Arena as long as anybody. So tickets are hard to come by. My first couple of years, I could give them out. I could do this. Now I just say sorry. But this is a highly anticipated year, and people are really excited about it. And I think we're going to be an exciting team to kind of watch. And I do think, like most teams that I have coached through the years, we'll just keep getting better. And that's always an important part of the year and the development.